We are on.
We're on.
We are on. All right, well, thanks for joining me today, Mr. Ketteman.
Hey, you're very welcome, Mr. Saunders. I'm happy to be here.
I'm not going to name drop your first name. I just want to ask you a couple quick questions to motivate some of our struggling readers.
Absolutely.
First question I got is, what's your earliest memory of reading or interacting with books?
Probably my earliest memory of reading or interacting with books is probably my mom reading them to me when I was younger. I was a huge fan of the Dr. Seuss series because I love all the made-up words in it, you know. One fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish, goo, flu. Sam, all of them, you know. Yeah, box, fox, green eggs and ham. Good stuff.
Good stuff.
Yeah, I remember those a lot. I mean, I don't remember them. I can't quote them for you, but I remember really enjoying listening to my mom read.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing.
You're welcome.
Was learning to read easy for you or difficult?
I would say learning to read for me, I had sometimes a hard time staying focused. And reading takes a lot of practice, sounding out the words, getting them together. So I would say at first it was kind of hard for me to focus and stay where I needed to be. I remember using a ruler to kind of keep me focused on one line at a time when I first started learning how to read. And that helped me a lot so I didn't get distracted by other things coming up. But once I kind of got the flow of that, then reading kind of came easier and easier the more I did it. But it wasn't something I just picked up a book and was like magical.
Oh. So not like music where you just picked it up.
Right. Music kind of just came without a whole lot of extra stuff, but reading took a little work. So
cool. What's your favorite book?
Right now, I kind of brought in a book to share with you today. Is that okay? I don't know if I'm supposed to do that. This is kind of maybe not a good thing since it's you know.
You're the first one, so you get to set the.
There you go. So the book that I brought in is a book that's is special in my family. We read it every year together, and it's the Christmas Carol story. Are you familiar with that by Charles Dickens?
I am.
It's a really old one. It's got everything you need. It's got ghosts, people walking around in their pajamas, flying, time travel, more ghosts. You know, everything you could really want. And so
the Christmas spirit.
Yeah, and it just teaches a good lesson, and it's just something that every time we read it together as a family, we usually do it when we're traveling in the car to go to visit people. I just always hear something different that makes me laugh, and it's just kind of crazy that a book that's, you know, over 100 years old can still make me laugh. I think that's pretty neat. So,
did you want to read something from it today? Or?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of just a great way to start, you know. It just starts, the first sentence is, Marley was dead. To begin with. There's no doubt whatever about that. The register of his burial was signed by the clergyman, the clerk, the undertaker, and the chief mourner. And it just goes on from there. But I mean, it really just brings you in. What? Already somebody's gone? And you got to find out what happened. So awesome. It's a really fun story for our family to read together.
Well, thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome.
All right, moving on here. Let's get to this next question. How has learning to read impacted your life and what you do today as our music teacher here at LFE?
Let's see, as the music teacher here at LFE reading, I mean, I'm always reading and gathering new ideas. I mean, we live in an awesome time where you can just go onto the internet and type an idea, and I can see people teaching on YouTube, but I can also read their lesson plans and kind of get some different ideas from them. But I think also, too, as a music teacher, one of the things that a lot of people don't think about is that music, especially vocal music, is poetry, and there's a lot of writing and reading involved with it. Reading music itself is a language all of its own. So I mean, just the comfort of being able to read and interpret what you're seeing on a piece of paper as something that you can then use and get an emotion out of is something that, I mean, on a daily basis happens in the music room. So, but a lot of people don't think about it as reading, but it really is. I mean, whether you're looking at notes or whether you're looking at the lyrics, you know, you're really having to follow along and the fluency that comes with that, and just being able to read smoothly and do it. So, I mean, nobody likes a song that would go, you know, happy birthday to you. You know, I mean, like just being able to, I don't know, there's a lot of reading involved. So.
Yeah, so you're working on those tracking skills, which helps people like me out who have to work with kids that have struggles with that.
Mm-hmm. And my eating skills, I always work on that too.
There's that. Our last question here.
Last question.
We made it through. Do you have any words of wisdom or encouragement you would like to give to our young scholars here at LFE that may be just starting their journey on learning how to read?
Probably just get excited. I mean, the cool thing about reading is you can do whatever you want with it. I'm a big fan also of nonfiction and going and like learning about things. I really enjoy that. But you can then also just get the mood to go travel to medieval. I was super into knights when I was a kid. I think most guys are. I spent most of my spare time doodling in my notebook, drawing swords and reading stories about knights and dragons and choose your own adventure type books where you're involved in the story. So, you know, I just get excited, and it is hard at first for a lot of people, not just maybe you, but even adults. You know, sometimes it's hard for us to get motivated to read. It's a lot easier to turn on the TV, but there's no better TV than the one that's right in there between our ears. Our brain can do so many more things than we can sit there and watch. So,
Awesome.
I would say just get excited, have some fun.
Thanks for coming out.
Thanks for having me.
You bet. And all right, Eleri, what do you like most about being a kid?
I like most about being a kid is that, well, I get to learn a lot, and I'm not like rushing so fast. So I really like learning right now.
Okay. What makes you the most happy?
The most happy is, well, I like having my mom and dad around because they always make me laugh and feel happy inside.
Awesome. I know your parents, and they are fantastic people, so thumbs up to that. Do you have any special talents that you want to talk about?
Well, one of my special talents, I like to play tennis with my dad as a hobby.
Cool.
And horseback riding, and I just do a lot of sports.
So you're multi-talented. That's awesome. If there was one thing in the world that you could learn how to do, what would it be?
Be a teacher, teach little kids how to read and learn.
Awesome. I think you would make a fantastic teacher, Eleri. All right. What is your first memory of books?
My first memory has to be in kindergarten. I used to always read these shark books because I was really interested in them. And I would always read them, like shark or snake books, whatever it is, picture books. And I would always like reading them with my buddy. And it's just really happy. It just makes me happy.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Let's talk about your journey on reading. Has reading been easy or difficult for you?
It was kind of easy at first, but then it got difficult because getting older and reading bigger books, more chapter books, like longer pages. So I would have to kind of be in the middle because I would always read these picture books really easy, and then I would get first grade. I just jumped to like Jenny B. Jones, and that was like my favorite series. So I'd always read those books.
Yeah, and you know what? Has been really rewarding for me is watching you grow. Remember all those videos we've seen of you?
Yes.
As a teacher, there's no better reward than watching someone like you, but watching you grow. But for me, the coolest thing, Eleri, has been the fact that you never gave up and you always kept trying, no matter how hard it was or no matter how much you hated doing something. The one thing that I could always count on you for is you were never going to give up, and you always tried your best. And I think that's awesome. All right, we got 2 more questions left. What is your favorite book, and why do you like that book?
The book that I'm reading right now is called Wonder, and the reason I like it is because it's about this kid that had this disease ever since he was little, and the nurses always said he's not going to make it through the night, but he made it through the night, and they're thinking about sending him to middle school. And so I'm not so far into it, but I think it's a really good book, and I recommend it to 4th graders because it's saying like how this kid has this disease going on and how he's so brave going through all these surgeries. So I really recommend it.
Yeah, that's a cool message, right? It's kind of talking about never giving up, which is something that you're familiar with, right? That's awesome. All right, last question. If you have any advice or encouragement to give to our kindergarten and first grade students here at LFE that are just now learning how to read, what advice would you give them?
I say never give up. Always keep on trying, and whatever you read, you can always have encouragement from your parents or friends. So I say never give up to anything.
Awesome. Thank you, Eleri, for taking the time to answer these questions and helping our young people out. That's awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.